Hello. Welcome to the Dancing Oracle with Najia for part two of a reading of Keanu Reeves. So I talked about in part one, we have a fan of my channel and big fan of Keanu, Trevor. Trevor asked about, will Keanu do John Wick 5? And he's not the only one. He's asked that. But he was asking that based upon the reading I did for Keanu last month, where I mentioned the demon at the top of the wheel of fortune affecting Keanu's fate and all the risky physical activity and how he hurt his knee. And I had said Keanu must have an injury around his leg. So he wrote in about that. And I said, yeah, let me go ask that. Let me ask that of the cards. So here we are for the deep dive portion. For those who like to know all the details. All the details. All right. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, the hangman. That makes sense. That's kind of the whole issue at heart. Everything is on hold and gaining a new perspective. Will Keanu do John Wick 5? Will he? Will he? Will he? And what is the obstacle? Wow. The Eight of Swords in reverse. Oh my God, the prison of the mind. It's like this lack of power, feeling trapped. Oh my gosh. So, conscious thoughts, the Page of Pentacles, you know, wanting this new project, but it's delayed. A new project that gives money. The Chariot. Oh God, and the oh, this must have been the accident. Maybe some type of vehicle, or maybe on a horse, the chariot, the subconscious thoughts are like this racing. Wow. Oh, in the past, he is the emperor. He is the emperor of all the John Wick series. Oh, and this is, by the way, the number four. The emperor is number four, and Keanu has done obviously four of them because Treva is asking if he would be doing a fifth one. In the future, in the near future, we got the Four Wands. We got cause for celebration in the near future. I'll talk more in depth about these. And the sun, he is the sun. He is the illuminated one. He's the star. Everybody loves Keanu. He wants the sun shining on them. And the environment is this, he wants to promise and be the knight in shining armor and be there for people in this concerning this issue, but it requires a lot of strength, and he's maybe not feeling the strength right now. He's worried about that. And justice and getting balance in the, oh, that's an unusual. I need clarifiers for that. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Let me talk about these cards. Let me talk about these cards. I got to keep an eye on the clock because I want to go out. I want to go out for a walk amidst the cherry blossoms. It's that time of year. All right, the hangman. The hangman is really clear. It's really clear about the meaning. And it's the question where you're all asking, will he do it? And it sounds like the answer is we don't know. It's up in the air. It's up on the air according to his health, right? His injuries, what he has to do. What does he have to do for this movie? I know I haven't seen them, but I know they're really action packed because I've seen the trailers where he's riding on a horse or like a scene from a movie, how they filmed it with him on the horse, and it looked, pretty intense. Um, yeah, that was John Wick. Yeah. Okay, just double check. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. It's fine to correct me because I really Would love to hear from you and what's going on. It's interesting. The hangman in this deck is different than the classic major art classic Rider-Waite. I'm gonna wear my dark glasses. Yeah, so you know what's so cool is I thought that was just like little highlights in the water, but in reality, they look like symbols, like something you would see on a rune stone. So you would normally never look at the water from the top, right? When would you ever look at the surface of the water from the top, right? You would look at the water coming up from the bottom or just being on the boat, but you wouldn't have this viewpoint. And there's all this light coming from the head of this person representing the issue. And what's happening is because this person is hanging upside down and all the energy is rushing to the head, a lot of blood circulating in that head, and with that can come a different way of looking at something, some new thoughts about it. And there's all this destiny symbols, all these different types of symbolism, prophecy, what could happen, written in the surface of the water. And it's the number 12, which is a 1 and 2 add up to 3. So it's a collaboration effort. And rather than having a blue sky in this deck, which I intuitively pulled to do his reading today, it has a green sky. When have you ever seen a green sky? Maybe if you have the aurora borealis in your backyard, well, maybe you might see some greens in the sky, but it's not normal. So this green is really significant. The green pants on the legs and the knees, the light green, and the green in the sky all around. So there is this issue of the green is representing, the color green represents different things. So it represents prosperity, abundance. Your heart also represents healing. Healing is the color green. So when I had a lot of injuries years ago, I had so many injuries, all these herniated discs, 2 knees, and that, right? And the feet, everything. And I was held back from my injuries. I knew that the color green was a healing color. And because I was spending so much money on my medical bills out of pocket, I needed to make some green. So I heard if you wear the color green and you surround yourself, see, this person is surrounded by green. So there's a healing time going on, even wearing some green. So yeah, this deck was meant for Keanu today because the issue of the hangman, of this whole idea of him being held up from doing John Wick, it all has to do with something involving injury or worried about future injuries. And, his destiny in regard to this is literally hanging, and there's a new perspective being gained, maybe a new way of doing something. While he's in a state of healing, there's a new way being thought out of how to do this. But he's bound by something. He's been bound. This is the Eight of Swords in reverse. It was pulled as the obstacle card. It was also pulled in reverse. Okay. So let me have you take a look. So if it were upright, you can see this woman in reality, she's fine, right? She's beautiful, right? And she's looking in the mirror and she is trapped by the thoughts, the prison of her mind, by words, by swords, by cutting. Well, in this deck, it's the crows. So the crows are like, making this crow sounds, and it's kind of like when things really bug you and you just feel like one thing after another, like you keep like I've been through these injuries, crazy. So it's like, God, I'll just get over an injury, another injury happens. And it's like, now I got to deal with that. Take a bite out of me, make a sound. And you're just like, God, does it ever end, right? Does it ever end? Now, the good thing about reversal of this particular card is that's when the prison falls away, the prison of whatever is happening in the mind that will attract injuries or whatever, press, maybe there's gossip, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in his life. Remember, this is for entertainment purposes and also to understand the cards. So you see that this person is bound up, but she can easily get out. She could easily get out. And in the upright position, she's more bound, right? She's more bound. She's bound by these crows tying this around, but it's pretty weak strings. Now, in this position, this can all fall away. The illusion of that can fall away. So there's some type of mirroring going on in regard to his issues, mirroring. So there's something going on where I'm getting that the obstacle is, in the standard deck, the obstacle would be like this in the Celtic cross. The obstacle is kind of like, I guess it's like a sabotage in a way. Like, I want to say he's brought it on himself and it's disempowered him. Because remember in the last month's reading, I said, this twist of fate, this wheel of fortune, and what was, in the cards about the card that represented him was the Knight of Wands in reverse. And he was being like way too rash and risky. I don't know. I get the feeling that that's it. There's something within him and that is different, and then he mirrors something else. So please tell me what you think that is. I mean, he is an actor, that's you get to play things out, but it's deeper than that. It's much deeper. Because this really affects his life and his well-being. And it's harder when you get older. It takes longer to heal, and you're running out of time to do certain things. This may have a lot to do with image, right? I'm getting this image thing more so in this deck. It's all about the image. Because okay, here's what it is. I'm going to just get these cards to keep from getting crowded out. Here's what it is. It's this particular deck, instead of having swords, it has the crows, right? And this is the Light Seers Tarot, by the way. Okay. Typically, the swords represent words and thoughts. In this deck, the crows are representing words and thoughts. And I'm really feeling like, what is the blockage? What is holding this whole thing up has to do with image. Remember, this is Hollywood. You know, it's I don't want to, how do I say this nicely? How do I say it nicely? We could just say image is everything. That would be a nice way of saying it. And with I don't know if it's so much the physical injuries. I think the Keanu's fans really love his they feel some kind of depth from him, and age does not matter to his fans. But yeah, you know what? He's in Hollywood. That's what's holding this up. But it's falling away. Some of that's falling away. So we shall see. And the card that represents his conscious thoughts is the Page of Pentacles. And there's a blockage to this project, this new project. And the money's more important than, we'll say, the knowledge or making this happen. Because if the page were in the upright position, you just want to start this new project. Yeah, money's involved, but in the upright position in the standard deck and the Rider Waite, that has the red cap and the page and the knowledge and just doing something for the thirst for knowledge. And yeah, money's great, but it's not the main purpose. Like, yeah, having a little bit of money is okay, right? Just to get compensation to be able to do something new, right? But in the reverse position, there's a blockage, and there may be conscious thoughts in the Hollywood sector that, hey, this is a business. Do we really want to, that's what's important. And then in the subconscious, God, did I imagine, or did I see him riding a white horse in that movie clip? I can't remember, but maybe my memory is wrong. But I do remember him riding a horse in the city. So obviously, this is some type of vehicle that is on a fast trajectory. And that is in the subconscious thought. It may have caused the injury to begin with. It's also something that represents that this is happening fast. There has to be a decision fast. The Chariot is also a card that represents business negotiations. It's a major arcana card as well. Usually the Chariot is a favorable card for business negotiations when it's in the upright position. Definitely in the past, in the recent past. Oh my God, that's Keanu. with all his power and creativity, root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus will, all of this, being the emperor, it's like a chess game, like to have this whole um resurgence of his career at a later age, because I don't know tell me when the first John Wick was made, and the second and the third and the fourth, people, because I know that it's been around for a while and it happened when he was older. I would say probably late 40s, I'm not sure, or at least early 50s. But it's like an empire, right? This, and it's four, right? The number four. So it's like an empire of reigning, right? This whole John Wick phenomenon. And that's clearly marked here in the deck. And as my one of my favorite psychics, or not, she won't call herself a psychic. She'll say she's a tarot reader. Ellie from Ellie Dreams Down Under, she would say, the cards are listening. Yeah, I love Ellie. In fact, I'm using Ellie's spread because Ellie also has a tiny little area to work, and she does the Celtic cross. But in the near future, I see cause for celebration. Mm. This is a card that represents home, celebration, even wedding. But it's definitely a community. It's definitely a community event that builds its foundation. We'll just say it works on the foundation because it's the number four. It's victorious. So, so far it looks pretty good. The answer looks pretty good. Like there's some kind of release of whatever words, image, whatever it may be, that Hollywood image, it should be a certain way. Maybe they're open to having a 60 some plus man, because he's 60 now and he hasn't made the movie yet. So he'll be in his early 60s, probably when it's released or made. So yeah, so that's really cool. It's looking good so far. I get it like that. The card that represents Keanu, the sun. He is the sunshine. I know you all feel like he's the sunshine, right? Look at this. This sunshine person has a big heart. The sun is shining from them and to them. It's like a beautiful reciprocal generosity of spirit from the universe and from his heart, represented by a female here, right? But, and like rainbow colors, right? Rainbow colors, all that happiness. So that clearly represents him. His environment is, wanting to be that knight in shining armor. Um, and he plays that kind of guy, right? Coming to the rescue in some way. Um, I don't know this. I just know about the doggy in the first movie. But I know that even though he's an assassin, he is he is the hero, right? He's the hero of the story. And the environment is all wanting him to be that hero of the story. Okay? So he has a lot of support in the environment to be that, to be that, take that part. Everybody wants him to do that. Hopes and fear, does he have the strength to do it? Strength in reverse. Is he powerful enough? Is he strong enough? Right? The final outcome is justice. I wonder why justice? Why justice? Well, justice, maybe, maybe the final outcome of this movie is like John Wick gets his justice for that little doggy. I don't know. What it, I don't know the it's kind of like there was something I read online. Is the wife still alive? The wife that supposedly died in the first movie? I don't really know, but Justice is a card. It's number 11. It's an angel number. It's Keanu's birthday angel number 9 plus 2, September 2nd. So he's an 11. But there's a balance of the scales of justice. It's good karma coming to him. But it could also be a legal issue being resolved. Maybe there's a legal issue in regards to John Wick. I don't know. But often there are, right? Because this is a business and there's contracts. I'm going to do some clarifiers with a different deck, but I just want to see what's happening in the here of now. We got the Knight of Swords, right? Things happening, fast. Um, he's running toward his motorcycle. Oh, note that he's running. He's doing well, right? In other words, he looks physically fit, right? So that's on the here and now. Running to the motorcycle. Ah, the cards are listening. The Four of Pentacles, there's an issue with trying to budget correctly. There's an issue with trying to hold on to the money. So maybe this the series wants to make sure it's profitable. Is it profitable to bring Keanu back? Or have we already gone on a different trajectory where he supposedly, tell me if I'm right or wrong. So I think he supposedly died in John Wick 4. Um, there's a lot of worry about a lot of loss of money through building up this money over the course of many years through this series of John Wick, because this is the 10 of Pentacles in reverse. It's like, it's a card that's like represents a big money making machine, okay? And this, the cards are listening. Look at this is so amazing. Okay, I know about the first movie. So there was the puppy dog that passed away, right? So this man is he's got this dog, a newer dog, right? I don't know if there's a new dog in the movie, but just there's a dog in the Six of Cups, which it never normally is. In the traditional deck, there's no dog. There's just little kids and flowers, okay? And cups, all right? And goblets. But the Six of Cups is representing that nostalgia. There's so much nostalgia in this movie over the doggy. And I did a reading about Keanu where I was channeling during the reading. And I got that the reason the John Wick movie was so successful is that people identified Keanu with the puppy. Like Keanu's the puppy, emotionally the puppy. And there was something about that. I'd have to look at my old reading because it wasn't my conscious thoughts, it was channeling that answer. Yeah, so there's this older man now with his doggy, and he's thinking about, his dog from the past and being super nostalgic. And there's a lot of people could feel that way about their their family member animals, and they love them so much. So when they saw that poor baby being killed harmless, thank God it's Hollywood, it's not real, right? But for the drama, you felt the pain, right? And there's that's happening now. So it's clearly the cards are listening. So let me do a clarifier now on that long-term final outcome regarding this movie. And then later, I may do, oh, you know what? I'm going to take a picture. You know what? I have a really hard time remembering what I said. And I'm gonna take a picture of this spread before I go and pull it away, right? Because then when you ask me questions about the reading, I can't go and watch the whole video. I can just look at the spread in my camera. Because you'll be asking me, and I'm like, I don't remember what I pulled where. And I can't go watch my own video again because I got to make more videos. All right. So we have the Justice card. And I really want to know, what does this mean in the final outcome? It's looking good. It's looking good. All right. So some of you get mad when these readings are too long. So I'm going to do clarification on the final outcome. And I'm also going to clarify not only with another tarot deck, but some oracle cards. Okay, so see you soon. Did you like my video? Because like 1,000 of you will watch in a couple days and I only get a few likes. I think in the future I may say, if I don't get 1,000 likes, if I get if I get 5,000 views and I don't get at least 1,000 likes, I'll wait to do the next video after I get 1,000 likes. So please like this video, help keep the channel going. And if you keep requesting Keanu videos, please hit the like button and share. And I'll see you in the next part 3. Bye.